Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Rabbi.
We are learning Mishna Gittin, Parakeh, chapter 5. We are in the middle, or actually towards the end, of Mishnah Ches of Mishnah 8. Ani hamanake peresh hazayis. Translated, that means a poor person is cutting down olives from the top of an olive tree. Okay, so what's going on here? So I'll read to you from the notes. Certain portions of a crop must be left for the poor to take. Torah obligates us to do that. These portions include leket, one or two ears of grain that fall from the harvester's hand, shichcha, produce that was unknowingly left behind, peah, a section of the standing crop, peret and oilolois are deformed clusters of grapes. Okay? Now, if you're talking about olive trees, which we're talking about right now, so then the laws of leket, peret, and oilolois, meaning the laws of that if one or two ears of grain or whatever that however that would translate by an olive, or clusters of olives that would be considered deformed and not regular, do not apply by the olive trees. But shechicha is something that was inadvertently forgotten or leaving a part unharvested, that applies by the olive tree. Okay, so this poor man, he's on top of the olive tree and he's cutting the olives. Okay, and the olives fall to the ground. Now another poor man decides he's going to take them. So what's the halacha? So the halacha is ani menaka breish hazayis, a ani that is cutting off olives from the top of a olive tree, masha tachtav gazel, that which is below, meaning that which he cut, and it fell to the ground, is considered stealing if somebody else takes it. Why? They die because of ways of peace. Now, based on the rest of the Mishnah, we know that means that according to Torah law, there is no problem taking those olives that fell to the ground, because just because you cut them doesn't mean that you took ownership of them. Right. If he would have taken it in his hand, and then he would have dropped it to the ground, so then he acquired it and he dropped it to the ground because he has to put it down somewhere. And then if somebody comes and takes it, that's 100% gezel. That's 100% stealing. But in this case, you never took it into your hand. You just cut it. Now, clearly, you cut it for yourself. And now somebody else wants to take it because it's not yours yet. So the sages instituted that you can't take it. If he cut it down, you're not allowed to take it. Because of the Ikei Shalom, you can only imagine what kind of arguments would come out otherwise. But as we said before, according to this, if the wording is that it's considered gezel, stealing because of ways of peace, that means if somebody actually does take it, can the poor man take that person to Beis Din to take it back and say it's mine? The answer is no. Rabbi Yossi says gezel gomer. No, it's 100% stealing, which means that the sages did make it into full-fledged ownership, and therefore, if somebody were to take it, the poor man who was cutting them down would be able to take him to Beis Din to retrieve it. Then the Mishnah concludes, "A memachin biyad aniyei goyim." We do not prevent poor, non-Jewish poor people, beleket shikcho peya, from collecting the ears that fell, that which was forgotten, that which was left over, meaning these are supposed to be left. You're leaving it for Jewish poor. But now a non-Jewish poor man comes to take it also. We do not prevent him from doing so. Why? Because of ways of peace. In order to promote peace between Jews and non-Jews, therefore, we do not prevent them from coming to the fields to take it. Although these gifts are intended for the Jewish poor, the rabbis decree that we must also let non-Jews take them, in order, again, to promote peace between Jews and non-Jews. You can only imagine if we start kicking out non-Jews, what kind of problems that can make. Here in the notes, they bring down the first paragraph, they bring down us from the Rambam. We should strive for peace between Jews and non-Jews because it is written, Hashem is good to all, his mercies are on all his works. What pasuk is that? Hashem is good to all, his mercies are on all his works. You say it every morning in davening. No. Toiv Hashem lakoil, v'racham abal kol ma'asav. You say it in Ashrei. Okay, that means Hashem is good to all, his mercy on all his works. And it is written, the ways of the Torah are ways of pleasantness, and all its paths are peace. And therefore, so the first pasuk seems to be saying, Hashem is merciful on everybody, on everything. You should be merciful. Of course, there's going to be different levels and different parameters, but the concept of being good to all is a concept that's there. Hashem is good to all. We should be good to all. The ways of Torah are ways of peace. Therefore, we have to strive for peace. Peace means, of course, amongst ourselves, but also amongst Jews and non-Jews. And then they bring down from the Gemara with the commentary of the Ran, we also support non-Jews who are poor, visit non-Jews who are sick, and bury non-Jews who are in the need of burial because of ways of peace. Okay. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Thank you. Even though we finished today's learning, is sponsored by the Garland children as a chus refuah shalema for their uncle Chaim Gavriel ben Etel Gita.